Who wants to be a chiropractor? Anybody? Good.
In a sense.
Why?
Me personally, I have really, really bad back problems, and I have to understand why it causes it, how to prevent it.
Good. So as a chiropractor, what I do, like you had mentioned, I work on people's spine, on their back, on their neck. My job is help relieve neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, headaches, things like that. What we do in our office is, before our office, we take x-rays first. Okay? X-rays for us help us understand what's going on inside the body. If you had a problem with, say for example, a fever, right? Is it better just to start taking medication, or no, if you have a fever? You take your temperature first. Okay? So you want to make sure you have the right testing to know exactly if it can be effective or not. So our job in our office is take the x-ray first, see a spine, your spine versus normal, and see how different it is. If you get blood work done, if you ever had blood work done, you get your results and goes, here's your results, here's normal, you're either normal or not normal. You want to see where you are on that line. Okay? Going to schooling, for example, become a chiropractor, or anybody in healthcare, who wants to be a nurse here? Medical assistant, anyone in healthcare? Good, good. So going back to where you guys are right now, in high school, when I was in high school, I had no idea. But the biggest thing I knew is that going to school in LA, I had to have good grades no matter what I was going to do. Okay, some people think they don't need that. They're fooling themselves. You have to, right now, your job is to build up good work ethic, going beyond grades. We know that as parents, as professionals, as doctors and business owners, that I bring people in my office as interns and have work for me, is I want to see good grades and how they volunteer, what they do outside of school or in school. It tells me I have good work ethic. If they're pulling C's and D's in high school, that tells me they're slacking. Okay, they're not working hard enough. If you're not working hard enough in the classroom, your personality, your character is going to reflect as an employee of mine or intern of mine. If you do that in my office, one thing, I'm going to kick you out. I think it'd be a bad reputation of me. Bad example of me. Okay, representation of me. So the biggest thing is I want to make sure where you guys are now is, number one, work on your grades. Work harder on your grades. Okay? And all it is a number. What I mean by that, even though I kind of trivialize it by saying it that way, is that's our way, that's your foot in the door. Okay, if you have, any of you put a resume together? Good, perfect. So what does that include? Your schooling, your work experience, and your volunteer work. And maybe your references too, right? Okay? People want to know, what have you done? Because if they see you've worked at this shelter, this nursing home, this volunteered for this food drive, hey, they're doing stuff outside of school, they think that's important. That's our first green light that you're a good person. Okay? We may call your reference, hey, Father so-and-so or Officer so-and-so, why do you think they're a good person? What have they done? Well, this, and this. If I like the person's answer, the personality, tone of voice, I'll agree with them. Okay? Two things we talk about when I do my talk show at the school, especially for kids in ROP, is your character versus reputation. No difference? What's character? What is character? How differentiating?
Like how you are around people, like how you act.
Actually opposite. Good answer though. Your reputation is what people think of you. Okay? Your character is what you do behind closed doors. Do you do the work? That's okay. Make sure it's on vibrate too, please. Do you do the work behind the scenes to get good grades? Okay? But people find out you have good grades because you're cheating with somebody. At that point, you're cheating off someone's work or homework, then that's your reputation as a cheater. Get good grades because you work your tail off behind closed doors. That's your character saying you have good work ethic. Going back to that again too. So make sure you have both, right? How can you ruin your reputation overnight? Or within a few minutes? How can you do that? How have people done that before?
You plus something.
Mm-hmm. Internet's phenomenal and a monster. Okay? Everything we do is transparent. Someone can walk up to you, you're talking about somebody, and videotape, not even knowing that, post it on Instabook, Facebook, whatever book you want to call or gram. At that point, everybody knows. There's an incident at the local junior high, same thing. Someone posted something, didn't think it would get reposted. Also went back to the actual school where the person was not expelled, but suspended for a while. So realize anything you do anything you do can get out there, even on Snapbook and everything else, that becomes part of your permanent record. Again, what your reputation is sometimes more important than your character. People won't even think about you if they think your reputation is shot because it's a reflection of them too. I bring someone in my office that's a cancer, that is a gossiper, is provocative, whatever it is, that's a reflection of me. Like, why would that doctor let that happen? So I want to make sure my reputation is up here by keeping people around me have the same reputation, same character. So do you worry about that? Are your friends and people you hang out with the same high standard of character and reputation? That's all a personal question for you. Okay? A lot of that is a reflection of your self-esteem, self-confidence. When I do my talks here at junior high and even other high schools too, a lot of it is how do you build up your self-esteem, self-confidence by doing things that actually help you build it up. Maybe playing sports, playing music, volunteering, being around good people. You know, anything, even band stuff to anything. I'm more of a workout guy, so for me, what I do is work out to build up my self-esteem, my self-character, and do these things like this too. You have to find ways, as I don't call it as young as you are, but as where you are right now in life, to build up your self-confidence, self-esteem, and learning how to de-stress your body. Okay, with back pain or neck pain or headaches, which I deal with all day long, my client base is probably between 25, that's probably a little bit low, 35 to about 55 years old is my client range on age. Male, female, both, probably a little bit more male. A lot of it is, as you get older, you don't realize everything we've done since we were in probably elementary school, 5 years old or so, 5, 6 years old. We sat in a classroom for about 8 hours a day like you guys do. You're all institutionalized, right? Okay? So how do we avoid that back pain in high school that will go on to college and beyond? By stretching, by working out, by strengthening our body. Okay? When you do that, when you strengthen your body and stretch, it produces hormones in your body, help your body relax. So it's not just stretching to feel good, stretching so your overall body feels good. And if you feel good and feel healthy, you can tolerate more stress. Right now, you guys are juniors, seniors? Right? Freshmen? Good. At that point, wherever you are now, is this year harder in school than it was last year? Think. Is this year harder than it was a couple years ago? Probably. Okay, maybe even a few years ago too. But you've built up that ability to do it by learning more and more and more. It's a building process. Same thing with my patients. What I do is tell them, start with one exercise, one stretch, build another one, another one, another one. At that point, our job is to make sure over time you have a way, whatever it is, maybe again, music, working out, stretching, joining a group, whatever it is, something positive to build up your ability to relax, but also build up your ability to get stronger and healthier. So you can do this all day long, right? And yet, sometimes I'll do this funny. I do seminars sometimes. I do licensing every year for about a whole day. It's painful. It's about probably 12 hours in one day, 8 to 8. And I'm a chiropractor, so you figure I take care of my own back, right? I work with a partner. I work out every day. I sit in the chair for probably 4 or 5 hours at a time, no problem. Chiropractors are in the back like this, standing around like, oh, my back's killing me, my shoulder's killing me. Like, you guys are chiropractors. We're not used to sitting in a chair for 8 hours a day. You guys have to. You know, this is what you have to do. So realize, outside of school, are you doing something physical or a way to relax this so your body can relax? Realize a lot of times back pain or neck pain is from stress in the body. You have to find a way to de-stress the body to relax it. Again, the hormonal, the chemical, neurological response to your body, when it's out of balance, your body stays in a stressed state. So when you wake up in the morning, you go, why am I so tired? Why am I so beat up? Because you didn't get your body to relax the day before. Going back to chiropractors, well, this is in healthcare too. Healthcare is the #1 growing profession out there from a category perspective. Nurses, medical assistants, those levels are the most growing the next 10 years. It's about 9 years now, for the next 9 years. So realize you guys are in a prime window if you want to get in healthcare to not only start here, but work your way up. I went to an RMP conference last summer, maybe 2 summers ago, I can't remember, I'm getting old guy. A lot of it is, they talk about, in high school, you can actually start working now in high school in a hospital. You know where? In electronics or computers. And people like yourselves, even though you're millennials, which is phenomenal, you guys know more about computers, about phones, about apps, about marketing about how to put things out there than anyone else out there. Hospitals need you because a lot of people are my age or older. They worked on this big thing called a desktop, and it was huge. Had like this big monitor and weighed about 30 pounds and a big thing, tower thing, that sat there. You had to put stuff in there for it to work. It would break down every like 10 times. 10 times you would start, it would break down like it got broken again. So now we don't have that anymore. But they don't know that. They don't want to learn that. So they bring you on to work in the hospital as an electronic or computer tech to not teach them because they don't want to learn. They're old. They want you to do it for them. That's your foot in the door. You guys are phenomenal at that. A new app comes out, you guys know it than anyone else. You guys have that knowledge in your head. Some people my age go, millennials are lazy. They don't. I'm like, that's a bunch of stuff. You guys know a different way to do it. We learned, my generation, paper and pen. We wrote everything down, right? I had like calloused on my hands because I wrote so much stuff down. You know? But now it's like you can put it in your phone, it's right there. You can talk on your phone. It's amazing. You can take notes that way. It's amazing. Use it. But realize because you have that knowledge, find ways, especially if you want to get in healthcare, to help doctors myself out and other people in healthcare to get that foot in the door. That's what you guys can use. Okay, if you want the healthcare. Healthcare requires a lot of schooling. Painful. Very, very painful. That's why you have to realize now you have the character again to work with patients. Anyone in healthcare, you have to work with patients. What's a good way to know if you have the character to care for people? What's a good way to test that? What's a good example? What do you guys think?
Do ROP.
Exactly. Phenomenal. You actually learn the back end of an office, how it runs. And it's got a big grant for the school to do that, so take advantage of it. Also, you have to deal with patients directly. You can know, can I handle something? I was talking earlier, I worked as a junior high math science teacher. Killed me, not my personality. So after a year, I'm like, I'm not doing this again, this is crazy. Teachers are crazy for doing this to kids all day. But that was what I tried, not my character. When the healthcare, I'm like, hey, I like this. I like dealing with people. I like dealing with their problems all day long. Listening to their stories excites me, entertains me sometimes too. So a lot of it is, can you find a way to join RP, volunteer in a nursing home, so maybe an hour a week, just go volunteer and talk to old people all day. At that point, if you can do that and hear their stories and understand what they're saying, you are primed to be in healthcare. That's what I do 80 times a day. People's stories all day long. I go, okay, I gotta go. I'll see you later. I got the next patient. A lot of it is, can you get them to know that you care about them? They can trust your diagnosis, your treatment, or your referral. Does that make sense? You have to build that trust by caring, because they're going to know. If you can't fake caring for somebody, they're going to know. All right, do they care? I have people come in from other doctors, medical doctors, chiropractors, physical therapists, anything. They come to me because, you know what? I know you don't deal with this all the time, but I trust your opinion of what I should do. I go, well, I'll give my opinion, but it's going to be kind of what I think, not maybe best for you. They're like, that's okay. But they trust that I'm in their best interest. I said, I'm going to treat you like I would one of my family members that I actually like. Sometimes I don't like them. So you want to make sure we're on the same page with people. How do you know that? Volunteer. Okay, I love volunteers. Come out for an hour, I'll show you everything we do. Come follow me around, shadow me. Done. Piece of cake, easy. Do the school or not do school, doesn't matter to me. As long as your parents are cool with it, jump in my office. You know? A lot of it is, how do you find a way to know, can I handle the ability to care for people? Because when you start going to healthcare fields, medical assistant classes, nursing classes, they're gonna be tough. You think high school's tough now? You get blown away how tough it is. It's not just one class. You're gonna have 3 science classes. They're gonna be hardcore. They're expecting to know everything in each part of that class. Even stuff you don't need to know for your profession. I have a buddy right now who's in dental hygienical school. He's learning about, I think, feet anatomy. He goes like, what? Why? Because to pass the boards, the state boards, get your license, you need to know everything. Everything. So a step probably, like anything in school too, to be honest with you, you use maybe about 10% of what you're going to use afterwards, what you can learn in school. Application. But you have to learn everything to get that 10%. I do a lot of learning myself. Okay, I'm always watching videos, reading books. I'm learning what else I can do in my practice as a doctor. as a business owner for one, to talk to people, finding mentors, wanting to mentor group. Out of that hour I spend with people, I may get 10 minutes of learning that I actually can use in my office. So my goal is to make sure I do 5 hours to get 50 minutes. I do 10 hours to get, what's 10 times 10? 100, right? 100 minutes of stuff I could use. So I want to make sure I have enough information so I can pass it on to you guys and do more and more and more. Right now, just get through high school. Get your grades up, keep your grades up. Your best thing you can do right now, I don't care if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, is go and volunteer. If you can qualify for Vicki Robinson's a business program, maybe healthcare or not, go and do an internship. We want to see you out there. That's how you build up your resume. That's how you build up your character. That's how you build up your reputation. People know what you do, what you've done in the past. I've interned for the last probably, I want to say 8 or 9 years through the high school program and even ROP2. 5 of them, actually now 5, have gone on to nursing school. One because she had volunteered here. Sam, she was the RP program too. She had volunteered at 3 different places, including mine, and she got involved. She got invited to join the APU's nursing program, which saved her 2 years of college. So realize if you do the work now, even though it seems to be hard, time-consuming, your life later will be easier. Don't believe me. I know what I'm talking about. Okay? But realize if you do it now, your life gets easier later on. If you work hard now, your life will be easier later on. Okay? My trick, what I did when I became a chiropractor, because I worked before I actually went to school, chiropractic school. After my first semester, I said, okay, I live in Upland, and I want to find out what doctor I can work with afterwards in about 3 years. So I planned 3 years out where I wanted to work. I took what's called the L page, it was like thicker than this book here, huge, and found the chiropractic section in the book and said, okay, the first 7 or 8 chiropractors I see on there, I'm going to go and call them and see if I can volunteer. Spend an hour of their time. What can I help them with? Out of those 10, maybe about 4 or 5 called me back. About 3 got me, I was able to go in their office and go and interview and help them and see what I could do. One am I stuck with the last 2 years, and I started working with them even before I graduated. As side work, as doing fairs or things like this too. And by the time I graduated, I had a license, I was working in the office, ready to go. A lot of my students I went to school with, they're still applying for jobs when they graduated. You have a big student loan, about $100 grand, you have to pay back. No one's going to ask you, oh, we'll keep delaying more and more and more. You have living expenses. I was in an office, done, even before I graduated. You can find what you want to do now and are pretty sure about that. Go and volunteer. Getting your foot in the door that way, because right now you're not a threat to a business owner. You don't want to get paid. Because right now, what are your expenses? You think? $100 a month? You guys pay your utility bills? Pay for your own clothes? Pay for your phone? Sad. I wish we had that ability, right? Call mom, dad, I need more gas money. Eat food for in and out. You have nothing. So you don't need money. You need more experience. Use that to your ability. Okay? Find ways. If you're not confident enough, ask around, hey, can I help you out? Do you know someone that can help me out? If you have family member in healthcare now, can you go to that person, can you find me a job here, or where I can go and volunteer? Use your family. That's what we're here for. I have kids. Use them all the time. All right, any questions about that? That's probably the most important part. Find ways to get experience now without getting paid. The best experience in the world. How we get on time?
Yeah, we're good on time. We're going until 11:14. It's 10:50.
So that means 20 minutes, correct? Perfect, good. Okay. Another thing too is, do you do any outside reading or watching videos on what you want to do that entertain you? Okay, if you can, beyond experience in an office or volunteering physically, another way to learn what you want to do. Can you go through a category of videos? This is a training video on chiropractic, it's a training video on veterinarian school, it's a training video on podiatry or foot doctor, dentist. Go through those and see what you like. At that point, YouTube is unlimited, right? I mean, it's a YouTube channel too, I do my own stuff. A lot of it is, go through those people that you like and you can just put in Upland chiropractor, Upland foot doctor, Upland this, and see if those videos come up for people around here. And again, a way to work backwards, if you like their videos, come to videos. We love comments. People that put out videos myself. So can you get that way? At that point, the back door is, hey, I like your video. Can I come by and see your office? Fantastic, yes. If they say no, then they're insecure themselves. For every time you ask someone a question, right? You guys probably not been in marketing yet. When you ask someone for something, you're going to get, out of 10 people, probably plan for about 7 or 8 no's. Okay? And it's called going for the no's. You want to have enough no's to get the right yeses. If you ask one person to say no, you shut down, you're like, I'm done. Then your confidence is high enough to realize you have to have no's to get a yes. Does that make sense? So my job is to go for 100 no's to get 10 yeses. I want to do more and more and more. When I go to events, sometimes I'll do like UPS. I think last summer, 2 summers ago, they had a big healthcare event. I had some people that actually were in marketing that wanted to go and help me out to do the talk. I'm like, great, I'll pay you to go there. I go there, show up. You're talking like maybe 1, 2 people. I'm out there passing cards around, talking to people already knew there. Hey, come on in, blah, blah, blah. But like, how do you do that? You have to talk to 10 people to get 2 yeses. 100 people, you'll get 10 times 2 is what? 20 people, right? Simple math. So you have to do more and more out there. Expect that. The best way to learn. That's when it builds up your confidence over time, makes it a little bit rougher. At that point, you're going to get a lot of no's. I put videos out on YouTube. People call me, I hate chiropractic doesn't work. I'm like, hey, call me, text me, I'll figure out what happened in your situation that made it worse for you. Because everyone realize the profession isn't the problem, it's the person behind the profession. Maybe a chiropractor, maybe a podiatrist, maybe a dentist, maybe anybody, any profession. So realize, find the right people in that profession you like. At that point, help them out so it'll help you out in the near future. When I have interns in my office, I tell them, find the best resume you can or best recommendation you can in the internet world and copy, paste it, put your name on it, and I'll sign it for you because they've helped me out. So I want to make sure I return that favor. It's called Law of Equal Exchange. When we help somebody else out, they'll eventually come down and help you out too. I give all my training videos for free. I have low back exercise videos, I have neck videos, how to recover your own neck, relieve pressure, relieve pain. I go, hey, you want the video? Great, here's the video. Well, how much is it? Nothing. Is that good for you? Sure. And they're real surprised. They're like, well, I can go here and get charged $10 for this video, free. Why not? So I want people to realize the more I give out, the more I get back. Last month in April, so March, we had our best month ever. Because we've given so much the last 4 or 5 months beforehand, it just comes back. We don't expect it. You just keep working harder and harder and harder. I work harder now than I do time-wise on my videos, my marketing in the office, everything I do outside the office too, I did even 5 years ago. Because you have to. I'm 43, I'm a dinosaur. I only have so many years left before I need like a cane and walker. I'm almost done. Chiropractors maybe last to 50. My partner is phenomenal. I don't know how he does it, but he's about that age and he's like still going strong. I'm like, I don't know whatever secret is working. But chiropractic for us because we physically move people around. I have to physically take you, throw you around and push in your body, neck, mid back, low back, everything, and then help you up off the table and get you out of my office. I'm not there. I'm like, okay, tired, done. And walk the halls and the rooms, everything else I got to do. I had a big office. So I have to physically keep myself in shape to be an example for you guys as a chiropractor. If I can do it, you can do it too. Okay? Any questions yet? Who's ever been adjusted before? Had your neck adjusted, mid-back, low-back adjusted? Anybody? Have you seen videos of that? Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. Well, sometimes chiropractors will ham it up too. They'll figure out ways to make it more entertaining. But a lot of it is when we adjust the spine, relieving pressure, so if it's near your ear, if you adjust your neck, you're going to hear that big pop in your neck. Ever watch a movie where they take someone's neck and adjust, or rotate and all of a sudden they die? It doesn't happen. It's a movie. It's not real. Okay, let me back it up. 1 out of 10 million people are hurt or cause a stroke from an adjustment. That's the one you hear every 5 years or so on the news. So it's not scary. It is scary because you don't know what it feels like or what the relief is. So again, we go back and take the x-rays. First, make it safe, full exam. So as a doctor, I'm liable if I hurt you. So what I do, I carry malpractice insurance, which costs me more to make sure if I ever do hurt somebody, I'm covered. I can't just take a bag and go to Mexico for the rest of my life down there. hide it from everybody. Okay? But I want to make sure it's safe for my patients. That's why the x-rays for us are so important, to make sure you see what's going on. So my job is to educate you what's important in your body. Education is important. At that point, I teach you how not only that what's going on, how we're going to adjust you, but also how we're going to treat this. So over time, you add stretches and exercise and routine to your life to make your overall body stronger, more flexible. And at that point, again, it makes your body feel better. So your body relaxes more. From the relaxes, get stronger, tolerate more stress. So as you spend more time in school, more study time over a desk studying, actually studying a lot, you're like, my back doesn't hurt. If your back doesn't hurt, you become stressed. You actually can learn the material long term, not just short term. Any questions about that? Anything? And with your careers right now in the future, what do you think you need school-wise to get there? More science classes, more art classes, more business classes? What do you think? What's going to help you?
Math.
Math? Why math?
It's everywhere.
Everywhere. It's everything. Everything. I do a lot of my own office marketing, right? We do a lot of Facebook ads, we do YouTube videos, we do training videos too, how to relieve stress this way, whatever it is. I like those videos, but I want to see the math behind there. Which ones are more important? Which people are seeing them? What is the analytics behind that? And what age group? And how often should I put that out? So the data behind that will dictate to be more efficient next time and next time and next time. If you ever looked at Facebook ads before, it says like learn more, push the button, sign up for email, and blah, blah, blah. There's the back end of Facebook. It's called using a pixel. So where that'll mark everywhere that person clicks onto, that person's website, or there's something called the website, it's the same thing, landing page. At that point, it controls all the data of where you live, how old you are, what's your age group, and what's your interest. Do you like canoeing? Do you like shopping for wedding gowns? It's very specific. When you look at the data, you can dictate exactly what they like down to a T. Do they just move the area? How long ago? Have been there for more than 5 years? What kind of shoes they like? Anytime you open your phone, it tracks everything you're doing. So if you like this video on horseback riding, and you like this and you comment on that too, next time you open your phone, you're like, why is there a thing on horseback riding? I want that once. Because they keep track of everything. Helps us as officers go, okay, who in Upland wants to see a chiropractor? Do they have back problems, neck problems, headaches? Do they have joint issues? Do they have posture issues? Because all the time, like, I saw your video here, can I come in for this? Not a problem, come on in. So a lot of it is putting information out there so people see that, but you as, again, millennials, knowing the math allows you to understand behind what's working, what's not working. People don't like to spend money on businesses, okay, what I do, in the sense where I don't want to spend money on marketing, or on sales, or buying equipment for my office too, or even on staff too, because money out of my pocket. So as a business owner, I want to make sure I'm being conservative what I do, but also worry about ROI, return on investment. I have no problem spending $5, I'm going to actually get $10 in return. I have no problem spending $500 a month on, for example, Facebook ads or something else, if I get $5,000 back. Okay? I control those numbers over time when I see those results. I had a kid come in last Wednesday. He's 21, 22, self-learned all about Facebook ads, and Facebook retargeting, and Facebook marketing, which is right now the thing. He learned, and it was great. He saved himself 4 years of education and marketing degree from a college. Probably about $5,000 minimum a quarter from a UC school, just tuition alone, so about $20,000. Living expenses about $35,000 in education, by spending about $2,000 on books and going to seminars. He's done well running restaurant marketing on social media, on the World Wide Web. He's done really well. He tried to talk to me about it. I'm like, great, I already know what you do. I know the math behind that too. Anytime now, if you're going to work in a private office, either as an employer or as a business owner, at that point you realize you control a lot of how that new client or services actually come in the door. You want to see a lot of people come to the door, you control a lot of that if you're going to work for an office. If you're an employee to just front desk, I want to see, are you genuinely happy to be there? Do you like working there? And as volunteers, phenomenal, because I would see you first, and as an employee too. So having that combination of spending time in an office, again, going back to internships and programs and experience, get the experience now. Learn what's important to me, so when you come out to the workforce, you already have that education of what we expect. We know when you come out of nursing school, medical school, even medical assistant programs too, or any type of high school or college, what you've learned. But right now, at that point, when you come out of school, you have no experience, right? Unless you volunteered or done an internship. Most people don't. Even when I came out of chiropractic school, it still took me a few years to learn how things worked. As I worked more, that's why I call it a practice. Medical practice, chiropractic practice, dental practice. We need time to understand in the work environment what people actually respond to. How do we benefit them more? A lot of what I do now is, okay, I know you have back pain, neck pain, Sally or Joe, but what does it do to your body? How does it make you feel? Do you sleep well? Are you stressed all the time because you're in pain? Are you a bunch of medication that doesn't work for you? And you're frustrated because you can't get different medication that's helping you? Can you lift your kid? Can you get out of the car on your own? If you're 30, do you feel like you're 40 or 50 or 60? If you're 20, do you feel like you're 30 or 40 or 50 or 60? At that point, I want to see in their head how they're feeling, so it controls how I get their body to feel better here first. And once they know I care for them, what it helps them with, at that point their body will be more confident and help me even more and more. Make their body stronger over time, so at that point I know they're getting the overall benefit of getting themselves healthy and keeping it that way. As a business owner, especially in Upland too, or small towns like this, it's a small town, you know that, right? Small town USA, Upland? Think, maybe? Or not, I don't know. But a lot of it is, we worry about the biggest thing we want to see. My reputation is well, in my mind, winning a lot of my new patients from referrals. Word of mouth referrals has always been, always will be, the #1 source that tells you how well you're doing. If I have people refer people in, that my previous patients coming in, hey, I'm referring my daughter in, my neighbor in, my partner at work in too, that tells me I've done a good job with them. That make sense? That's your best referral. When you start for classes here, right? Do you ask who the teacher is from your friends? Sometimes you go, how's that teacher? I can take that math class, that math class. Which is a better teacher? Because they want to know, as a teacher, they go, why is my class so full all the time? In their head, they're thinking, I must be pretty good. I get all the good kids. You know, at that point, for us as business owners, as people who educate, I want to know where my people are coming from and how they respond to my care. So by knowing that, having a good reputation again, because you built it up over time, allows you to maintain that so you as a person, gets that character to match your reputation, and vice versa. So you're right with your answer, but realize it's both. Reputation and character should be high both, not just one of the other. It's too much work to have a fake reputation. People like all on Instabook or Facebook too, they tell they're really successful, they have all these watches and cars and they travel, blah, 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 blah. Realize those people are just like you. They just fake it better. They show you their fake world. For me, I put everything on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything. Good, bad, ugly. I had on Mondays, ironically enough, they want me for ROP, they want me to do a quick intro video for their healthcare part, whatever it was, or their program nationally. So went down to the RP in Ontario, and they said, okay, on Friday they gave me a little script, like make sure you kind of mention ROP, Baldwin RP, a couple things here and there. And I promised on the way down there, after took a quick lunch break, went down to my lunch break. I was in my head, I'm like, okay, I'll talk about this, and then I get there, and I start filming, and a big camera, not just a little phone like mine, a big camera, and it basically goes, okay, make sure you read from the script. I go, oh man, can't do that. So it threw me all off. But I still put that on my Facebook page. A lot of it is when you're genuine, what they see you mess up and still recover, because I did recover, I think, pretty good. That's what my friend said. One of my friends said, hey, great 22 takes you took there for that quick 10-second spiel. I'm like, but it's something when you do it genuinely like that, people see the humor behind that, not just the education behind it. They're like, hey, it worked out great. But a lot of it is when you do things spontaneously and still put it out there, people will see that you're being genuine about stuff. They want to make sure your character, again, your match reputation, that you're a helper up here, you care for people, not just one or the other. Any questions so far? What not to do And business is as important too, okay? I want to make sure people understand that I'm not going to Vegas every other weekend and partying up like a rock star, coming back and putting on a suit and a tie and trying to be that professional person all the time. So I want to make sure everything I do, I put stuff out there sometimes on the World Wide Web when I go hiking on the weekend, or bike riding or golfing too. So people see my whole, what I'm doing, everything, not just in the office of my patient every time. And people like that because they say, okay, he's a normal person, normal resident, and does normal things. But he still does this and helps people out. So what you do now is important too, to where if you're going to put things out there, realize you need all of it out there. And be a good person all the time. Who's worried about paying for college or after high school? You should all be worried. Listen to a scary statistic about probably 3 weeks ago. What's expected in 2018? The student loan budget is going to collapse. So right now, if you can get into a 4-year or a college level program, student loans may not be available to you in probably about 4 or 5 years from now. Realize that gets you through school. So hopefully once you get out, you can actually get a job to pay that back over a period of 10, 15, 20 years. So realize they might not be there, so if you can, get out there now and be urgent about getting into a college where you need student loans, get them and get them out. Okay, just as a warning sign. Yes?
I just got a text, I think that they want the speakers to.
They're cutting us off. They're saying, stop talking, get back there.
So you can have lunch.
Perfect.
And then, so if you want to.
Any questions at all?
Any questions, and then the rest of us will stay here till the end.
Yes?
How many works do you work? How many hours do you work per week?
I work about 30 hours a week in the office. Any other questions? Now you guys have phone fill, right? Other questions?
What's the most difficult part of your job?
Telling someone I can't help them. As a chiropractor, I'm a specialty. So I want to make sure if they're beyond my work, if they need surgery, for example, at that point I put them to a right surgeon because I don't do surgery. What other questions you have? Sir?
How easy is it to advance in this job?
Hard. Because a lot of it is, we're not hired by a hospital or a medical group. We're all individual. So you have to run your own practice or work with a partner, or as an associate, and at that point you have to work your tail off. It's all about you, not about a hospital supporting you or paying your salary or insurances. I pay probably $5,000 a month just in insurances. Health insurance, malpractice insurance, office insurance, everything. I was talking to one, he's an OBGYN and a baby doctor. They can't work part-time because their insurances cost them about $10,000 a month just to cover their insurances. There is no part-time. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. I thought I was bad, but they're worse. Any other questions for your forms?
3 job duties and responsibilities you have to do.
Patient care, paperwork, and therapy. Just to give you something for paper. Yes?
What's the most common problem people have when they come in?
Low back pain. Always has been, always will. People sit too much. They sit too much relative to the workout they do. If you sit for an hour, you're supposed to stretch for about 10 minutes. People don't do that. People that come in, they live in Upland. They drive out to downtown LA every day for work. Sit in a desk all day, 8 hours a day, and drive home. So they spend like sunrise and sunset sitting. So they come home, when they leave for work, they're like this. Come home, they're like this, like, oh. Especially on a Friday like this, like, oh, because traffic's so bad. So a lot of it is how do you maintain this body here, doing stretches and strengthening so your body stays strong.
Okay, that was the last question, I'm sorry, because of the time.
Not a problem.
I didn't want to get you fed.
My bad, I need
Thank you
to
so
pass
much.
out. You're welcome. Hope you had fun. Here's a card for you too, sir. On my back is all my social media stuff. At that point, go on my YouTube channel. I have a playlist of all my exercises. Look at the low back ones. Those will help you.
I have upper back.
I have exercise for everything. All of it.